Cuphead has a lot of charms, 10 to be exact, and it can be overwhelming to know which charm to use in which situation for each individual boss. So today I'm going to be breaking down each charm into a tier list of sorts to show you guys what I believe to be the best and worst charms in the game. Please note that all of these rankings are just my personal opinion, and I would love to hear your guys' rankings in the comments, so please enjoy. So at the bottom of the list, to probably nobody's surprise, is the Whetstone charm. This terrible charm changes your first parry into a doubling axe attack that you can use to hit the boss and deal some damage onto it. It sounds pretty decent until you take a look into it. The axe attack deals only 16 damage per hit, which sounds good on paper, but when you actually use it and you can see how inconsistently you actually get the chance to use the Whetstone, you realize that that 16 damage is terrible. Considering that the lowest damage dealing shot in the game, the Chaser, can deal 17.1 damage every second, looking at the Whetstone's 16 damage every chance you get to attack is awful. You will never be hitting that attack every second. So due to its terrible damage and awful positions that it puts you in after the attack, the Whetstone is at the bottom of our list. Next on the list is the Pea Sugar. The way that Pea Sugar works is basically every time you jump, it auto parries for you, so you don't have to worry about getting the timing right. I think that this charm is okay for new players who might not be used to the parry mechanic, but it can also lead to bad habits later on in the game if you rely on it too much, and I can only confidently say it's good on the Phantom Express boss fight. And even then, it's not that good, as it can honestly just mess you up and move the train when you don't want it to. So because of its poor use case and the fact that it can cause bad habits for players, it's number 9 on the list. Now for our next charm, we need to take it into a running gun, because it is the only good use of this charm. The Twin Heart is basically an upgraded version of the Heart charm, which we'll see later on. All it does is it basically adds 2 HP to your total, and it also cuts your damage by 10%. It might be good for players who aren't really the best at dodging, but the minus 10% damage is detrimental in a boss fight, and definitely too much for me personally. And I can only find it useful when I'm trying to go for P ranks in these running guns. The number 7 slot might be a bit shocking to most of you, but I put the Cursed Relic here. Now the Cursed Relic has some drawbacks, like it sets your HP to 1, but it also has some big upsides. And that upside is that it has every single shot in the game built into the charm. Basically, whenever you let go of your shoot button or trigger or whatever it may be set to, and start shooting again, your shot will change. This can seem like a bad thing to most people, but it honestly helps a lot as you can swap shots depending on what phase of the boss you are on. The main reason why I have this at number 7 is mainly because of how unique it is. This charm adds a whole new challenge to the game, and I think it's very creative of the developers how they can add a charm like this into the game, and it allows for a whole new way of playing Cuphead. But enough talking about the bad charms in Cuphead. Let's get into the mediocre charms in Cuphead. Now, these charms, while I wouldn't pick them on every boss, they are a pretty safe bet on most of the bosses in the game. And starting us off is the Coffee charm. The Coffee charm constantly charges your Super/EX cards. And that's it. There's no downsides to using this charm, it just charges your EXs. You get more supers and EX attacks in to dwindle the boss's health and ultimately make it easier. It doesn't excel in any sense or in any use case, but it's definitely a good pick on a boss that you're getting really close to beating but just not quite dealing enough damage. Breaking into the top 5 charms is a charm that I would originally put top 3 until I started looking into the charm a little bit closer. So, the way the Smoke Bomb charm works is that every time you dash, you get temporary invincibility. So you can use your Smoke Bomb and go invisible to avoid all possible damage for a short period of time, which is extremely useful, and is a charm I still frequently use. The only thing is that your regular dash in Cuphead is already pretty good. I found out recently that when you dash in Cuphead, it changes your hitbox to mimic your crouching stance. So basically, if you can crouch under the attack, you can dash through it. This doesn't make the Smoke Bomb any worse, but it makes me feel like it doesn't quite deserve the charm slot as much as it once did, causing me to put it in 5th. The Heart charm has to be one of the most safe picks for any boss fight you enter, especially if you're going for S ranks. I mean, how could you not like this charm? It gives you 1 extra hit point and only causes you to deal 5% less damage. You might look at losing 5% and think it's a bad thing, but in all honesty, it's hardly noticeable, and you get a whole extra hit point, which can make a huge difference in any boss you're facing. And for that, I firmly believe it belongs at number 4. The top 3 spot goes to a DLC perk, and it's the Heart Ring. The Heart Ring is amazing. It has the potential to give you 3 extra hearts with 0 drawback. How it works is your first, third, and 6th parry of the boss fight will give you 1 extra heart. So you can get 6 total hearts with 0 damage drawbacks, unlike the Twin Heart and the Heart charm. The only downside is that you won't get EX cards after doing parries. Instead, it makes progress towards giving you more hearts, which is such a good trade and easily makes it a top 3 charm. A lot of people were probably confused at the start of the video when I said there was 10 charms in Cuphead. That's because the Broken Relic is actually 2 charms if you upgrade it. By defeating bosses with the Broken Relic, it will eventually become the Divine Relic, and the Divine Relic is OP. How it works is it still keeps the constant weapon swap feature from the Curse Relic, but you now have 3 HP, and it combines other charms into it as well. It has the perks from the Whetstone, which isn't that good. It has the Heart Ring built into it, which is really good. It also has the Smoke Bomb and the Coffee, so you can constantly be getting EXs and have your invincibility dodge. And this makes it just such an amazing charm. And the only slight drawback is that your shot changes every time you shoot. But you can just find the shot you want and hold it. It's easily the best plane charm in the game without a doubt. And on regular bosses, it still is very, very strong. To absolutely nobody's surprise, the number 1 charm in Cuphead is easily the Astral Cookie. The Astral Cookie turns the player into Miss Chalice. And with that, it gives you some amazing perks. The first perk is that it gives you an extra heart, so 4 hearts instead of 3 at the start of the match. The second is that you get a double jump, which makes maneuvering a whole lot better. Miss Chalice's dash gets changed into a parry dash hybrid, so you're still dashing, but now if you hit parryable objects, you'll get the parry points. And in my opinion, best of all, it gives you an invincibility roll, which is basically the Smoke Bomb, but you can still do your regular dodge and your invincibility roll. Miss Chalice is easily the most powerful charm, as it gives you 3 new super arts as well. The best one is easily Super 2, as it gives you an extra shield heart, giving you basically infinite health as long as you can charge up those supers, making it the best charm in every single possible situation. Except for maybe playing fights, but that's just my personal opinion. With that, I hope this was able to help you guys on knowing what charms to pick when playing Cuphead. Also remember that this was just my opinion. I know everyone has their own, so let me know your list in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and do all that other good stuff. I'll see you next time.